Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Nostalgia. I'm joined this week, like it's a weekly show, with Ben!
Well, this week, it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah,
This
you
week,
can watch
next
this
week.
in 2038.
It's still a week.
If you're watching this in 2038, comment down below. And if I'm still alive, I'll like it.
I won't be. Very old.
We're talking about Zelda!
Yay! Zelda! Happy things!
Zelda's been around for before I was born, so I don't know that much about it.
No, I was born. I was definitely born when
You were
Zelda
born.
came out and was around. I was going to bring... Well, I bought some of my collection here, which you can
There's
see.
There's a little bit.
Not just the games.
Not as much as the Pokemon nostalgia, which you can go back and watch since the new
Yeah.
Pokemon's coming out.
I reckon I've got more Pokemon than I do Zelda.
I would say.
Just quietly.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are some of my Zelda games that I've collected over the years. I also was going to wear, a lot more of my Zelda stuff, but
I'll switch the green screen off for a second so you can actually see it. Yeah, there it is.
yeah,
It's a good hat.
it's a great hat.
It just doesn't work with a green screen.
And a lot of my shirts.
Covers your
Are
face.
green.
Shut up, Dan.
Are green.
Green. Dan's being very rude, so I'll ignore Dan.
Dan's being a production assistant.
Dan's just jealous that he's not in this video, but he only likes bad games.
Oh.
Anyway, Zelda.
Yes, Zelda. So where did we start with Zelda? Because
Okay, so Zelda first came out with The Legend of Zelda, funnily enough, which I don't have a boxed one. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to find one.
wouldn't that be very expensive?
Not really.
No?
About 100 odd dollars. So this is the cart of Legend of Zelda, very first one. It came out over in the States and in Australia as a special gold cart, the only one that came
shiny.
out at that time.
Was it really an exclusive?
Well, no, it came out Japan, but the gold cart was exclusive to America and Europeans because over in Japan, this is Zelda. It came out on the Famicom Disk System.
Good lord.
It actually plays a little bit faster and is a lot more clearer sound. So the Famicom Disk System takes carts like this. And you put that in your Nintendo and that hooks up to your NES or your Famicom. And the sound is a lot clearer and a lot nicer. They had awesome instruction booklets though. So that is
Oh my god,
actually
yeah, that's
instruction
a
booklet.
really chunky
And this
dude.
thing came with
Oh my
stickers.
God. It's like an actual guide. Ah!
It's like a guide and you got stickers in
That's
there as
cool.
well.
That's cool.
So I got this on my first trip to Japan.
Nice.
And it cost a bit.
It cost a little bit.
But it was well worth it because it's the very first Zelda game ever made. And I love it so.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's really cool as an actual physical piece. Like,
Yeah.
Like having it, like, it's just this little, like, floppy disk game system thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
awesome.
man, I'm really debating whether I do that justifying my collection show. But we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
we'll talk about that off air, but I would still be interested to see how much is really there.
Sorry, I've just realised how to actually put it together again. Anyway, ask me questions while I'm playing with my things.
So, the one that I know is the NES one that I've seen.
Yep, the original Legend of Zelda.
The original, where it's the full-on, like, top-down,
Yep,
uber
isometric.
pixely.
Yep.
Like, you're
It's
going,
8
like...
bits.
Yes,
Give 'em a break.
8-bit, sorry. And you're going along, there's, like, 4 colours.
Yep.
From what I remember seeing.
Yep, and then they brought up a sequel, The Adventure of Link, which came out afterwards.
Yes.
Which is this one here, which I do have a box copy of.
Ooh.
So again, came with the gold cart. I'm not going to take it out because I don't like opening boxes that much.
Yeah.
I should really have a protective case on this. I don't know
I'm
why I don't.
surprised you don't.
Yeah, that's a problem. Anyway, so Adventure of Link was a side scroller, and it was more of an RPG where you grind, and it's a hard as hell game. The only way to actually pass it is to grind like anything at the start and level up.
Wasn't the whole appeal of Legend of Zelda, the first one, being that it was like open world and
Yeah, but they didn't
like,
know that at the
go-
time. They were just
Ah,
experimenting with different game
so then all of a
formats.
sudden they were doing a side scroller and everyone was like, "Hey, we love this open world."
Well, it's actually it's one of 2 Zelda games that I haven't finished. I've finished every Zelda game here apart from 2 of them. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like it. It's
Okay.
actually really fun if you can get past the RPG elements. It also has that classic I am error scene.
I am error.
Look it up. You'll
Alright,
put it up.
I'll
here.
find it.
It'll say I am error
I am error.
when you talk to a townsperson.
That's a weird.
But it's a hard game.
Yeah.
It is a very hard game. It's very unforgiving. If you die, you go right back to the start.
Oh,
irrespective
classic.
of where you are.
Classic.
A friend of mine, my housemate when I was a teenager, 20s, wasn't that long ago. He decided he'd sit down on our house NES and try and finish it, and he couldn't do it.
Couldn't. Damn. Like, he was committed to it and he still couldn't do it.
It's a cool game. I like it. It's really a good game. It's just really, really hard. A lot more feasible now to play it now that it's on the Switch Online and also the NES Mini because they have save states.
Yeah.
And
so
rewind
it's
functions.
A bit more forgiving.
It's a bit more cheap. You know, if you want to be a loser and not finish the game how it's intended, that's fine. You do that.
Call out post. Oof. Then where we go? I'm assuming Super NES.
Super NES. I forgot to bring it. Damn it!
Is it the one thing that you
A Link to the Past. So, all right, well...
Link to the Past, that's the one that, like...
Everyone loves.
Everyone talks about.
And I've got a box copy sitting at home on my shelf. It's on my display shelf, though, not with all my other Zelda games.
Oh, okay, so that's why.
And to be fair, as I was walking out the door, I sent Brayden a message going, do you want me to bring any Zelda stuff?
That you'd already, like, boxed up everything, like... Am I bringing... Yes? Yes? No, yes?
So it's A Link to the Past. This is the Game Boy Advance version of it.
It's a version.
Well, yeah, they remade it for the Game Boy Advance. The Super Nintendo version is possibly one of the best games ever made. It took everything that was awesome about the original Legend of Zelda, updated the graphics, updated the gameplay. A lot of the stuff that happened in the Super Nintendo version, you can now see in modern day games.
Yeah.
Like the hook shot was there first. Bomb arrows, I think, were there first as well. Maybe bombs? I'm not too sure about that. No, probably not bombs. But yeah, a lot of the things that happen...
I'm assuming bombs was Bomberman.
No, I mean like in Zelda.
Yes.
But just on this piece here,
yeah.
I picked this up just the other day. A lady's husband passed away, so she was selling his collection. And I don't know if you can see this on camera.
At least it's gone to someone who...
will enjoy
really,
it as much as he did.
Really wants
This is factory sealed.
Damn, yeah.
This is absolute... No, you're not touching it.
No, I was going to...
No,
okay.
I will do it. You're not touching it.
There we go. There you go. Now you can see it a bit better.
There we go. So it's... maybe the back. You can see the join there, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's factory sealed. It is worth a lot of money in that.
Yes.
It's never been played, never been touched by anyone.
Damn.
And it's going to remain like that. And now watch it fall on the floor. And spray.
It's not... Oh!
Dan!
Jesus.
Damn it!
So then where do we go?
Oh, look, all this stuff's magically
It's all back to normal.
Oh, the
It's
magic
fine.
of editing. So just before we go... Dan, not again! God damn it.
Jesus.
We went to Adventure of Link, which is a game
Adventure of Link.
Yep, Adventure of Link.
These have very similar names.
Well, it was the second one.
Okay.
I just nodded to Dan off screen thinking, no, they won't see me. It's a podcast. Again, the Super Famicom version of that. All right, from there, so we went to A Link to the Past. Then, where did we go? We went to Game Boy. No, we went to the Game Boy.
Game Boy.
So, interesting, I only learned this the other day. Link's Awakening was on the Game Boy, which is coming out on the 20th, the remake of it.
Yeah, this is, which is what this is for.
Yeah.
So, leading towards the new remake, which looks adorable.
So, that was the very first game where someone other than Shigeru Miyamoto worked on the game and was the producer of the game. And the other person, I've forgotten his name now, but he came across someone who, another person on the dev team after hours, who was playing with the Game Boy sprites and seeing what they could do. And to his surprise, he was just making a little dungeon crawler with Link.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, well, can I jump in? And every day after work, they'd go and they would work on this little adventure Link game. And then more and more people heard about it. And they jumped in and they jumped in. In the end, it was supposed to be a port of A Link to the Past to the Game Boy.
Right.
But because of the restrictions and whatnot, because this team was making it, they went, we'll make a new game. And they got the approval and went for it.
Awesome.
That's another game I don't own. Really expensive.
Yeah, I would
really
assume
expensive,
so.
that one. So I'm hoping with this re-release that the price comes down a bit.
Fingers crossed.
I can get one. So we went to the Game Boy. Then came out the Nintendo 64
I was going to say
version.
64.
Guess what's on my display case? Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are at home on my display case.
The other two that are raved
got the
about
3DS,
constantly.
Remakes at the front there. So Ocarina of Time is possibly, again, one of the greatest games ever made. It was...
People rave about it
going
constantly.
behind a third-person point of view.
Yep.
Of course, Mario 64 was the first ever third-person point of view game. This one came up hot on its heels.
Yeah.
And it brought back that sort of open area type feel. It had dungeons. It had such great character. They implemented a lot of the lore into this game.
Yeah.
So that's where you first learned about the three goddesses and their names. And it was the first time that you learned that Ganon had the Triforce of Power, Zelda had the Triforce of Wisdom,
Right,
and
okay.
Link had Triforce
They
of Courage.
actually finally expanded upon that a bit.
Well, no, that's where they first came up with it.
Ooh,
Before
okay.
it was just, well, I mean, in the other games, you had 8 pieces of the Triforce because it got shattered into 8 parts. Yeah.
Try.
It's like the Zelda cartoon that came out.
Yeah.
Which came out around the time of Zelda 1 and 2, which celebrated 20 years this year, I think. Or 30
I was going to say, yeah.
30 years.
So you share it around.
What's
What's the quote from it? Sorry, the meme?
It's the excuse me princess was Link's catchphrase. Because Link was a womanizer for some reason. But the part that always made me laugh is... this is the Triforce of Wisdom, Link. The evil wizard Ganon has the Triforce of Power. Whoever collects both pieces of the Triforce will rule this land forever.
So in the show there were 2.
Both
Yep. The
Triforce.
Try is 3.
Whoever has both pieces.
And then in the game itself there were 8.
Well, no, it was 3, but they were shattered.
Okay.
But yeah, the cartoon was I loved it, but it was trash.
They weren't all there.
No. So yeah, Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
Way and above its every other game that came out.
Yeah.
It was just mind blowing.
It really knocked it out of the park in all aspects.
In the truest word, it was an epic.
Yeah.
It was, everything that you thought Zelda should be. And then, because it was so popular, they used all the assets and all the game engine and whatnot.
Yes.
And a year later brought out Majora's Mask.
That's a year turnaround. That's crazy.
Yeah, so everything's basically the same as Ocarina of Time. Everyone looks the same. It reuses the same characters. But in a much smaller world, instead of 8 dungeons, there was only 5, I think, or 4. But this game was dark as hell.
I was going to say, isn't this is the Moonface one, isn't it?
Yeah, so for those of you not aware...
I know the visual.
The Skull Kid steals Majora's Mask, which is an ancient evil mask from the Happy Mask salesman.
That's the cover, isn't it?
And because he's there, over there. Because the Skull Kid is sort of tormented by the mask, because the mask is evil.
Yes.
Has the power of Majora, an ancient god. He's bringing down this moon to crash into the town of Termina.
Yes.
And you've got
The
3
big scary
days.
moon.
Yeah, 3 days to complete the game.
Nice.
However, how the mechanics work is you got the Ocarina of Time, so you can rewind time and do those games all over again. So the path for the 3 days where everyone is the same over the course. So you can do all these little side quests, and the people are in those exact same areas each and every time.
That's cool.
It's including one with a couple where the bride-to-be's lost a fiance and they're due to get married on that 3rd day. Then you find this little boy with a Keaton mask, which is Pikachu.
Yeah.
But it turns out that he got shrunk down to the size of a kid and then he ran away because he was too afraid of his fiance seeing it. And through these things, towards the end of the last day, like there's 30 seconds before the moon crashes in and you finally make them come together.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a very intense game. You were saying before Breath of the Wild gave you anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah, don't play Majora's Mask.
No, that would give me major anxiety.
It's a little slow to get going, but man, just the mask mechanics they put into it.
Yeah.
So instead of like in Ocarina of Time where you put on a mask just to fool someone, this one you actually take on traits.
Damn.
In the 4 main masks, the Deku, the Zora, the Goron, and the other one, you actually transform into those characters.
Nice.
And then, of course, if you collect all 27 masks and give them to, like... All right, so spoiler alert for Majora's Mask, because this is one of my favourite final levels ever.
It did come out in the 90s, so it's all good.
You've got the moon coming down.
Yeah.
And what happens, once you've defeated the 4 dungeons, the 4 elder gods who you release from those dungeons hold the moon in place.
Ooh, love that.
And then because you hold the moon in place, you're able to use your ocarina to got to the moon, the surface of the moon, to face the Skull Kid and Majora's Mask. However, you go up there and you expect it to be like on this round battle, but it's this huge, expansive grass field with blue skies and just this one big, almost Great Deku type tree.
Okay.
And you walk up to it and there's just 4 kids running around. Yeah, 4 kids running around playing chasey with the masks of the bosses of each of the dungeons.
Oh.
And they talk to you and just go, oh, you played with us for a little bit. That was nice. And he's going, ugh. And then, eventually you come across a scared little kid hiding and he's wearing Majora's Mask and goes, oh, the other kids won't play with me. Will you play with me? And if you give him all the masks, he goes, oh, thank you. And he gives you the Fierce Deity's mask. which can only be used in the final dungeon.
Yeah.
And you put that on, and you turn into like this mega powerful godlike Link.
Jesus.
And he's white and fierce, and he's all powerful. He's got a twisted sword. So I've finished this game numerous times. Once as just normal Link, where you fight against the mask. So the mask floats, sprouts legs and arms out of vines.
Yes, I have seen that visual. Yeah.
As Fierce Deity, you kill him in about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
You're just
nice.
firing laser beams. Anyway, that's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Ridiculously
I'm
good.
always tossing up as to whether Ocarina or Majora's is my favorite game. Until a little bit later on, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. So then where'd we go to? Because then we got GameCube.
Yes.
I'm just testing my Nintendo knowledge here.
No, then we went GameCube and we went totally 180 directions.
Yeah.
So in the build up to the GameCube release, there was a tech demo of a slightly high-resed 3D model of Link battling a skeleton.
Yep.
I forgot the name of them now, but
Link and Skelly.
Yeah, sure. It was fully 3D realized and looked really, really, intimidating and like a level up from Ocarina of Time. Then we found out that we got the Wind Waker, and people, hold on, people were outraged.
Whoa, really?
They weren't happy.
Whoa.
Because they had Toon Link.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm just going to stand up because, there it is. It's right in front of me. This is the Wii U version.
Ah, yes.
There. It's the HD remix of the Wind Waker. This game is so freaking fun.
Yeah.
It is
I was gonna
so
say,
good.
like-
The art style is amazing, and people actually love it now.
So people were angry mainly just because they saw this beautiful version and then they got a really cartoony version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly right.
I mean, I can see where they're coming from.
It didn't meet their expectations.
Yeah.
Around the same time as well, we had Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of something, which is at the front there. It's a Japanese version.
Ooh.
Again, that's sealed.
Yes.
But I don't have, again, they're very expensive. It came out
Yeah.
around the same time as Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue.
Oh,
So
God.
they had, Seasons and Time, something like that. Of two games, there was supposed to be a third one, but it got too hard to make all the games talk to each other in order to get the third dungeon.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you had those two games, which came down the line. Anyway, Wind Waker, exceptionally good. I think it was Game of the Year for a lot of people.
Yeah, nice.
I do have it somewhere. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's that one there. And that one also came with a bonus disc of Ocarina of Time. If you pre-ordered it, you got a bonus disc of Ocarina of Time and then the Master's Quest where they switched around all the dungeons.
That's cool.
Speaking, and I'm just going to deviate once again. I tend to do these in these videos.
Also,
I'm sorry.
can we just quickly talk about how cute GameCube games discs are? They're tiny.
Amazing. So this one came out as a promo only with GameCubes. And it was a GameCube disc, and it had on it Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Majora's Mask, and Ocarina of Time. And they were just straight ROM rips onto a disc. And it was a promo only copy. You can't sell it. I wanted this so badly.
I was gonna say,
I ended up getting one a while ago. It was the first demo of Wind Waker on it.
That's crazy. Man, that would have gone for so much money.
Now
day.
not really. I think
When
now
people were trying to get a hold of them, though?
Yeah, because they came in as packaged.
Yeah.
With GameCube.
Good lord.
I've had 3.
Nice.
In my time and have passed them on. So then, of course, we had Wind Waker. That was a huge success. That sped up to the 3DS. You had Spirit Tracks and the Pirate one.
Yeah, all in that Toon Link style.
Yep. And they're all at the front there as well.
Yeah.
They were fun games. Not the best. Spirit Tracks is it's not the best. It's not.
That's the trend.
But then on the main system on the GameCube, we had Twilight Princess come out, which was the serious boy that people wanted.
I was gonna say, isn't this polarizing? Like,
yes.
between,
So
like, you either really like it or you're not huge on it.
I don't like it.
Ooh.
I don't like it at all. Well, no, I shouldn't say at all. I finished it. I played it. I finished it on Wii and on Wii U.
Yeah.
One of the only games to actually have 3 ports made.
Good lord.
Officially. So there's the Wii one there, or a different version. I also collect different covers.
Yes.
That one's also sealed.
Nice.
So that Twilight Princess, the problem with Twilight Princess is it takes so long to get past the tutorial.
Right.
So damn long.
It's just a bit slow. Yeah.
And like there's a goat chasing game and it's like, oh, come on, just let me get into it. It does take a long time. It's a fun game. Again, it carries on the story set by Wind Waker. And,
Yes.
This is before they came up with the diverging timelines.
I was
so
going
they
to
were
say,
trying to start to piece it together.
I've seen the Zelda timeline broken down. Good lord.
It's
What a mess.
It's all retconned.
Yeah.
It first came out in Hyrule Historia.
Yes.
And then they've had 3 volumes of these Hyrule Historia come out. In the 3rd one, they just go, oh, you may notice the timelines change. That's because more research is like, bollocks, you've just thought of another way to shoot on it.
You just changed your mind on it.
So what it is, before that came out, there was no ongoing storyline. It was just every Zelda game was a different Link.
It's all their own thing.
And that's when they came up with the reincarnation storyline, which they introduced a little bit later on. But we also had this game, the 4 Sword Adventures, which came out on the GameCube as well.
4 colours.
Yeah, so you hooked up your Game Boy Advance as extra controllers.
Nice. What a crazy feature, honestly.
That was really, really fun as well.
That's just fun dungeon crawling.
Yeah, and speaking of Game Boy games, I forgot to mention the Minish Cap.
Minish Cap!
Which is a fun little game as well. I played that. The DS games I really didn't get a whole lot into.
They really had a real stint of Toon Link, didn't they?
Yeah, and he's still going.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Still a popular character. I'm hoping for another Wind Waker type game. Moving on. And speaking of moving on, where were we? Twilight Princess.
4 Swords. So, did we wrap up the GameCube?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's all for the GameCube. GameCube, I think, has the most Zelda titles out.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it does also have all of them with this one. So
yeah. Oh, so there's Twilight Princess there. So there's
the 3.
There's the 3 Twilight
trifecta.
Princesses.
So then we went on to Wii?
Wii, which we had Twilight Princess. And
did the Wii or the DS come out first?
The DS came out long before.
Long before?
Yeah. DS has been around for almost 15, 20 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, long time. Time.
I was a little kid when I got one, but...
Yeah. So, with the Wii, we got Skyward Sword.
Yes.
And also Link's crossbow training, which was quite fun.
Yeah.
That's by the by. They came with the Zapper.
Yes. Oh, man. As a kid, I wanted one of those so bad. I didn't know any of the games that had them, but I wanted one so
I got one when it first came out. This is before I was collecting.
Yeah.
And I just liked Zelda, so I got it and played it, and it was awesome. So I have, obviously, the thing. Then I was in EB, that's GameStop for you American viewers, and they had a boxed one for $3 on the bargain table. Yep. Cheers.
Thank you.
Great.
I'll take that for my collection.
And the guy sort of looked at it and went, $3?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Even he's like, I feel like I should charge you more for this.
Well, he didn't.
Their loss.
Yes, so we had Skyward Sword, which is just over there, Brayden, right in front of you. Other one. Yep, that one there.
Aha.
And that came as a packing because it was the 25th anniversary of Zelda, which you can see on the stamp up in the top left-hand corner there. It came in with, it's not at my end, the Wiimote, the gold Wiimote down the front. It also came with a soundtrack.
Fancy.
Now, this game came with supposedly one-to-one motion controls. So this is the first game where Link appears as a right-handed person.
Has he been left-handed this whole time?
He's been left... Oh, sorry, I should reiterate. No. In the Twilight Princess version of the Wii... Yeah. The Wii version of the Twilight Princess, I should say. He's also right-handed because all they did with the GameCube version is flip it. So the GameCube version, he's left-handed. In the Wii version, he's right-handed, and everything's opposite ways.
That's amazing. That's so dumb.
Yep. And that was so they could use the motion control with it.
And have the nunchuck in the other one.
The Skyward Sword came out with one-to-one blah, blah, blah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Before they did that.
The Wiimote. No, that's in there. So you can see
that was with the Pro.
No, see, look down here.
Wii
Motion Plus.
Motion Plus is inside.
So without the add-on.
Fancy. I only had the ones with the really chunky end on the bottom.
Yeah, well, it's because,
those cases were terrible.
No one used the cases.
Those plastic cases around.
No one used them. You must have been really young.
We were young.
What a nerd.
Those things felt so gross. Can I just comment on that?
Yeah.
Those rubbery grips that
they were
they
condoms.
had for
They were condoms.
Yeah, they were horrid.
That game is the second game that I haven't completed.
Ooh.
Because it is monotonous and boring and I don't like it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And what's more is this is that's officially the first Zelda game in the timeline. And I've just never finished it.
And you're just like...
and after, I've watched YouTube videos just to see what I was missing out on.
Yeah.
With the battle with Demise, which is
the final battle, yeah.
Yeah, so Demise is the guardian or the spirit that takes over Ganon.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Wait. Shoehorn that.
Human Ganon or big monster Ganon?
Human Ganon.
Okay.
Ganondorf, I should say, technically.
Yeah, I know that from Smash.
Yeah.
That's
so
all I know that
Ganondorf.
from.
So I watched that fight and I was like, Oh, no, it's
Didn't really
more
miss that
flippy
much.
stuff. No, I'm not going to bother.
Fair.
People are asking for it to be re-released on Switch.
Okay.
Aonuma, who's the current head of all Zelda things, has said, yeah, nah.
Even he's like, nah, it's not.
He's going, yeah, nay des. Because he's Japanese.
Funny that.
So that's probably not happening, which means I probably won't play it, which, meh.
You're not really that fussed by
I'm not
it.
that
Yeah.
fussed about it, no.
You've looked and you've seen that you're not really missing out on that much.
No. But what I am missing out on is a lot of the DS games which I haven't bought up because I just ignored them.
Well, yeah, because we kind of skimmed over the DS.
We did. So there's Hyrule Warriors, which came out on the Wii U and, of course, had a re-release on the Switch, which is one of these. Which is a arena-type battle game. Wasn't made by Nintendo.
I was going to say, I remember seeing that and being like, this doesn't look like
I mean,
any
it was
other
fun.
Zelda
It's
game.
just more button-pushing
Yeah.
randomness. And that came out, and it's probably the worst port ever.
Oh.
Is this one that introduced Linkle, which is the female Link. Why you can't just have Zelda, don't know. But that's my hit prediction for the future, is we're going to get a Zelda game eventually where Zelda has the Triforce of Courage and Link has the Triforce of Wisdom.
Nice.
And you're going to play as Zelda.
That'd be cool. I like that. I like playing as Zelda and... Where was Sheik? I remember that from
Sheik is
Smash. Zelda. Yeah, but...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but what game was that?
What game was that? It was Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
That was the big surprise.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. Because I like good character in Smash.
Yeah.
On the Wii.
Yeah.
Can't remember what that one was called.
Well, should we go to the very last one?
We should. Let's jump across.
The Piece of Resistance. Breath of the Wild. Maybe my favourite Zelda game ever.
As it matches for a lot of other people who talk about it online that I've seen.
Oh,
yeah! And Dan.
Yep. This game is... I've sunk over 250 hours into it.
Yeah.
My daughter is playing it now.
Nice. How's she liking it?
She loves it. Just the way you can... It's just like you get off the Great Plateau and it's like, all right, off you go.
Yep.
And it's just exploring.
Go.
Like when they brought out the DLC, the add-on DLC, and
yeah,
they brought out the
they've done
map,
quite a lot for this, hey?
I'd put 200 hours into this game at that stage and brought up the map to see where I was walking, and there was still a section where I hadn't been. I'm like, all right, so I went there, and there was a shrine there that I was looking for.
You just completely missed completely gone around it.
Yep. The battles are amazing. I still remember the first time I came up across a Lionel. I just got a memory.
Yep.
It was near the bridge of Laranu, and I walked past it and just saw this giant beastie over in the distance, and he's standing there looking at me. I went, what if this is a battle?
I can do that.
All right, let's have a go.
Yeah.
Walked over to him. Lionel goes, roar, runs towards me. Bang, dead. And I also like the way that you level up in it. Like the Guardians are the scariest thing ever, and they come with like this piano. And when you know that they're near and they've seen you and they start firing lasers and they just absolutely decimate you.
Good lord.
And then as you get through the game and you get the Master Sword and you get better armor and you get better
at
it, you walk up to him and just go, yeah, whatever, buddy. Bum, bum,
I
bum,
can
bum.
take it.
So it's one of those games where you level up without even really leveling up.
It's a very good balance where you don't feel like you're having to work extra for getting to a good level. Like, there's just a good balance throughout. A good pace.
Yeah. Now, this game is 3 years old, and it's still streamed to incredibly high numbers.
Insane,
Friend of the show, Mr. A Game, has even mentioned that his Zelda videos do better than his Mario Maker levels now.
Yeah. So, he started with his Mario Maker, or Mario stuff, and then, like, Mario Maker was in there as well and everything. And, then jumping over to Breath of the Wild for it just exploded.
Yeah.
Like, people still, like, I mean, case in point, you played 200 hours and still didn't see something in the game.
Yep.
People are just curious as to what else is in this game.
And it's really good seeing someone who's actually really, really good at it playing.
That would be nice.
Like, if you watch me play, you'd turn off pretty quickly. Because I'm old and I don't have good reflexes. Whereas Mr. A Game, he's still relatively young and can do the things.
Yeah, he can still get it.
So that's my Zelda collection. We've been going for a long time.
Yeah.
So you have any other questions about Zelda while we're here?
I think legitimately, we covered probably 90% of it. 99% of it.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yep. And if you have any Zelda titles that you can't see here, feel free to drop me a line over at Hack the Dino and we can organise something resulting in me having them because I need them.
Money can result in that. Sponsorship can result in that.
Probably sponsorship because that doesn't cost me anything.
Anyway, thank you so much for talking some Zelda.
Thank you for letting me indulge in my expensive habit.
I think it's just best to let you vent sometimes.
It is best for you.
It's for my safety. But yes, you should go and check out our other episodes of Nostalgia. They are coming out on the reg every now and again when there's
Pokemon one coming
ones.
out. Am I gonna have to ship all my Pokemon stuff back in here?
Yeah, we'll talk about some more Pokemon again.
Sweet.
Just so that way you can, because like we only covered we did like a 45-minute video about it, but you probably only got like halfway into things you wanted to talk about. So we'll go back and watch that, and then we'll do a new one, and we'll talk about some other stuff. But yes, subscribe, hack the Dino, go watch the main show, go watch Dan's streams on Twitch and YouTube. He does a good job. Like and subscribe. Bye.